Leadership is very much an attitude. Don't think once you're a leader you've arrived and you know it all and there's nothing that you can learn. I experience on a daily basis there is so much to learn from my colleagues, from other people, even from my students. So I think it's if you keep that sort of attitude, I still need to develop. There are things that I should learn. There are skills that I should acquire. I think that will serve you in the long term, and that's most definitely worked for me as well. The first one that I can think of now is Mary Robinson, and she was the first president of Ireland, 2000 to 2007, and after that the United Nations Commissioner for Human Rights for a period of 5 years. She also studied law, but I think just the mere fact that she managed to become the president of Ireland specifically, where you have a very conservative sort of community as well. The second person is someone called Sandra O'Connor, and she was the first woman appointed to the Supreme Court in the United States of America. Now that is quite an achievement because the Supreme Court in America is the highest court, and for centuries it only consisted of men. So she made a breakthrough when she was appointed, and I think there's also something inspiring that I still find in her judgments and in the books written by her. Third one is maybe an obvious person, and that's Margaret Thatcher. Not always everyone's favorite, but I think nevertheless a very, very strong woman to be a Prime Minister of the United Kingdom in a very difficult time. Also took something from her as a married woman as well. A very sort of strong leadership style. And the last one that really inspires me is Madeleine Albright, who was the first Secretary of State of the United States of America. Maybe it's coincidence, but she also studied law. And I think, you know, maybe it is because of the law that she was appointed in the position. I don't know, it probably is. There's also something in her personal leadership style that's very, very inspiring. Well, I think the fact that one is a female dean, you can decide if you want to make a big story about that or not, or just continue with business as usual and just continue with your work as an ordinary human being and respect all the others and your colleagues as human beings and not make too much of this female, male kind of things that we typically want to do. So I think that was my viewpoint from the start, you know, to see everyone as equal and respect the human dignity of everyone and say, and the important thing is to find a common purpose. And in the law faculty, we have a common purpose. And as long as everyone believes in that common purpose, it doesn't matter whether you're male or female. Be more serious about listening. I had the very interesting experience of last week when I invited a student to my office just to share, you know, what she's been saying on campus, for example. And I also invited the new chairperson of the JV to join the conversation, and the appointment was only for a half an hour, and eventually we spent 1.5 hours, and it was wonderful just listening to what she had to say. And based on that, I can now say to anyone who asks me about what is going on campus, my message to everyone is we need to listen to each other, because that's I think especially in law, you know, we tend to talk first and talk a lot. And that is a mistake. We need to sit back and we need to listen and get all the facts. But we often see that with sort of national leaders. You know, power is a terrible thing. And I think once you have become, let's say, a political leader, for example, and you've got that power, then you think it's not necessary to listen anymore. And I think that is where things go wrong. So thank goodness it doesn't happen in the university environment as far as I know. But I think it's so important to stay in touch with everyone. And fortunately, we've got a very small faculty, so it makes it easier for me as well. I can know, you know, it's easier for me to get to know quite a number of the students, and fortunately my staff as well. But it's so important for the people to know that they are valued. And whether you're a first year in the law faculty or a PhD student, it doesn't matter. You are valued as a member of the law faculty, and that is the message. And I think that is something that leaders need to do. That I think, you know, the biggest gift that someone can give to another person is to say, I value you as a human person. I respect your human dignity.
Do you find managing a team, for example, the JV, that changes every year, par 1 or 2, but how do you keep that sustainability of leadership, the sustainability of thought and vision of the law faculty?
Set the scene as a leader, and this is what I want to achieve from this year group. How are we going to achieve this? I need your buy-in, and let's talk about this. Yeah. To have an open and honest discussion, and we usually have a meeting very early after the election, and I get to know them and understand their personalities and what it is that they want to achieve, and they get to know me, and I say what it is that I hope for, and how can we communicate, and how can we work together. So I think in that sense it's been working well in the past, and of course they come with new ideas and new dreams, but in one way or another it all sort of fits in what we want to achieve in the final instance, and we just have this mutual understanding. I think it's because we all study law.
Everything going on, I feel there's a lot of pressure on us to act now, or like this is being said from, we want to like please the management but still please the people as well. How would you say that we as newly elected leaders should handle this pressure with everything going on?
Surround yourself with a network. You must have a safety network with people you can just sort of relax with and engage with and have fun, and so you really do need that on a personal, very personal level. As a young leader, I think it is important to believe in yourself. You are a leader because people elected you to be a leader. So believe in yourself and keep on believing in yourself, and use that energy to be the best leader that you can be. Okay? Get to know management, what it is that they expect of you. And if you don't understand what the expectations are, you need to talk about that. So you also need to talk and say, I'm not certain about this. I don't understand that. And there's nothing wrong as a leader to say that as well. I really don't understand. I'm uncomfortable with the situation, so talk about that. If people come and speak to you with a confidential matter, do not disclose that to the people closest to your heart. The best you can do is to whisper it in your dog's ear, so you feel you share it with someone. But if it is confidential, it is confidential. Do not share that with your best friend, because that's one of the things you can break trust if a story comes out. So I think that also is very, very important. And leadership is hard work. It means that you will get tired. It means that you have to attend a session until 7:30 in the evening and you get tired. But you can't show that you get tired. Body language as a leader is so important. The moment if I walk into a venue and the leaders sort of slouch, I sort of just feel I don't think I'm going to listen. So body language, eye contact, those are the skills that you also need to work on as well. But you need to energize. So even if you are tired, take a Red Bull or Angry Bull, I don't know what you call it. But take one of those or espresso. You need to energize as a leader. If you are tired, don't show it. You will have to make sacrifices. Don't tell people about that. That's the worst thing. If a leader tells you, oh, I had to work so many hours because I'm a leader. It makes me sick. Don't tell people about the sacrifices. It's not about you. It's about the people. It's about the people in res. It's about creating opportunities for them. And you can be that person. You can be the one that can change someone's life. You can be the one that will inspire. So use that energy in 2016. You can and you will make a difference. There is still so much to learn from everyone around you, and read and listen and hear what people have to say. And it's a wonderful learning process.